Shagun, Camille, and Natalie proudly present a 3-minute philosophy about Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton was an English mathematician, theologian, natural philosopher, astronomer, alchemist, and physicist who has been considered by many to be the greatest and most influential scientists who ever lived. Isaac Newton was born on what is retroactively considered January 4th, 1643, at Woolsthorpe Manor in Woolsthorpe by Colsterworth, a hamlet in the county of Lincolnshire. However, at the time of Newton's birth, England had not yet adopted the Gregorian calendar, and therefore his date of birth was recorded as Christmas Day, December 25th, 1642. In 1665, he discovered the generalized binomial theorem and began to develop a mathematical theory that later became infinitesimal calculus. His monograph Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica, published in 1687, lays the foundations for most of classical mechanics. In this work, Newton described universal gravitation and the three laws of motion, which dominated the scientific view of the physical universe for the next 3 centuries. Newton showed that the motions of objects on Earth and of celestial bodies are governed by the same set of natural laws, by demonstrating the consistency between Kepler's laws of planetary motion and his theory of gravitation, thus removing the doubts about heliocentrism and advancing the scientific revolution greatly. Newton built the first practical reflecting telescope, which was completed in 1668 and is the earliest known functional reflecting telescope today. He developed the theory of color based on the observation that a prism decomposes white light into the many colors that form the visible spectrum. He also formulated an empirical law of cooling and studied the speed of sound. Newton also influenced the Enlightenment period greatly. Enlightenment philosophers chose a short history of scientific predecessors, Galileo, Boyle, and Newton principally, as the guides and guarantors of their applications of the singular concept of nature and natural law to every physical and social field of the day. In this respect, the lessons of history and the social structures built upon it could be discarded. It was Newton's conception of the universe, based upon natural and rationally understandable laws, that became one of the seeds for the Enlightenment ideology. In April 1705, Queen Anne knighted Newton during a royal visit to Trinity College, Cambridge. Newton was the second scientist to be knighted, after Sir Francis Bacon. He died in his sleep in London on March 31st, 1727, and was buried in Westminster Abbey. Nature and nature's laws lay hidden night. God said, "Let Newton be," and all was light.